Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Daytime Cheese, and this season we're going to be doing a little something different. We are going to be participating in ESPN's College Pick'em, presented by the Home Depot. Hashtag not sponsored. I am not big enough to get sponsored by them. But we will be going through every single college football game that we have here and picking a winner, giving my opinions on how these games will go. And yeah, so first, game of the week, and before we start with this game marks the end of Lee Corso's career on College Game Day. He will be retiring after this game. Lee Corso is a legend. There's no other word to describe him. He is who made me fall in love with College Game Day. When I went to Eugene and I did not see him at the game day versus Ohio State, I was truly upset. I wanted to see Corso. Corso is such a legend. He changed College Game Day from what it would have been as just a college football talk show into a true entertaining show that not only adults could watch but also kids who love college football. And I just have to extend my thanks and my gratitude to Lee Corso that it has been wonderful watching him for the past couple of years. I have to give him a shout out here. I know it's going to be a very bittersweet day for most college football fans that day. But we are going to look at this game, Texas versus Ohio State, number 1 versus number 3, the semifinal rematch from last year. Of course, Ohio State went on to win the national championship last year. However, they did lose a lot of pieces. So did Texas, losing their starting quarterback, Quinn Ewers, to the NFL. But they also have the most hyped prospect I've ever seen for college football in Arch Manning. He is the highest paid college athlete without even having a full year to start. And in my opinion, I'm going to take Texas in this game. They are ranked number 1 for a reason. I don't think Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs alone are going to be able to take on this Ohio State team. Not only that, they are starting a true freshman at quarterback. So this is going to be a very much similar situation to how it's going to turn out. It's going to be experience. And even though Manning doesn't have much, he has more than a true freshman. In such a difficult game, I think the freshman will make many more mistakes than Manning will, and so I'm going to take Texas in this matchup. Now, our next matchup is Northwestern versus Tulane. Now, while Northwestern is a Big Ten school, they are not that great of a Big Ten school. While they are going to go up against one of the best teams in the history of the American Conference, a team that I personally think will more or less be a contender for a playoff spot for the foreseeable future. And in this game, I gotta pick Tulane. Tulane did lose a lot of pieces through the transfer portal, but I still think that they are a better football team than Northwestern is. And I think home field advantage may play a slight role in helping Tulane win this game, but I don't see Northwestern pulling this one out. I see Tulane winning this game as well. Now, this next game is very much one-sided. UTEP versus Utah State. And I'm going to pick Utah State with the majority of other people. I just don't think UTEP is that good of a football team that they're going to be able to beat Utah State in Utah. It's not going to happen in my book. Utah State is levels above UTEP, and they are not going to lose this game. Now, another great game, the Battle of the Tigers. This is a rematch from, I believe, the 2019 national championship between the Clemson Tigers and the LSU Tigers. Number 9 versus number 4. This is the second top 10 ranked matchup in week 1. And in this game, it's going to be 2 Heisman favorites in Cade Klubnik versus Garrett Nussmeier. And I gotta take Cade Klubnik and the ACC. Clemson is favored to win this game. Of course, they are higher ranked, so they will be favored. And it looks like the majority of people will agree with not only the Vegas odds, but my pick in the end of the day. I think Klubnik is just a better quarterback than Garrett Nussmeier, and I think Dabo Swinney is a better coach than Brian Kelly. I do think Clemson will win this game over LSU. Now, Fresno State versus Georgia Southern. I'm just going to get this over with. I'm picking Fresno State. Georgia Southern is not a good football team by any means, and even though Fresno State got blown out in Week 0 against Kansas, I think E.J. Warner has what it takes to beat the Georgia Southern Eagles in his home stadium. It's going to be his first home game, and I think it's going to be very easy for him to win this game. Not saying it's not going to be close, but for him, I think his offense will be able to work around Georgia Southern's defense and will be able to win this game pretty simply. Now, Hawaii versus Arizona. I'm not going to waste anyone's time here. The Power 4 team that is a better Power 4 team than Stanford. Let's get that straight. Just because you're Power 4 doesn't mean you're winning. Stanford easily showed that. But in Arizona, I do not see Hawaii pulling out this win. They're going to start the season 1-1, especially since their quarterback will not be at 100% after that leg injury that he sustained against Stanford. Now we got the Oregon State Beavers versus the Cal Golden Bears. And as much as this hurts me as a Duck to do, I'm going to pick Oregon State because I think Malik Murphy will outperform whoever the Golden Bears have at quarterback. Malik Murphy is a talented quarterback, and he will do well for Oregon State, but he will be the piece that they need to beat Cal. Now, the Utah Utes versus the UCLA Bruins. Utah is favored in this game by 2. Vegas has them as a minus 255 to win this game. And I'm going to go with the majority of people and pick UCLA here. I think Nico will be able to beat Utah. I think they have better pieces at the end of the day. And I think UCLA is kind of underrated this season. I think Nico is actually a pretty good quarterback, a pretty spectacular quarterback, one of the top 15 in the league. And he will be able to beat Utah. It's especially at the Coliseum, it's going to be a lot better than not winning that game. Now, the final 2 games, both on Sunday, one at 3, one at 7. Let's go with Virginia Tech, South Carolina. Now, while South Carolina has one of the favorites to win the Heisman, I think I'm going to go with Virginia Tech here and pick my upset of the week with the Hokies. I do think Kyron Drones is a good enough quarterback to get this done in Columbia. That's all I really have to say. I don't think it's going to be a hell of a game. It's not going to be a blowout. And if we look at this right here, we look at this, while ESPN has them at 79%, they're only an 8-point favorite. That's not much. This is going to be a lot closer of a game than people are expecting. And so, I gotta take South Carolina as a loss. And I'm gonna pick Virginia Tech. Now, if you saw my preview video, you know what I'm picking next. If you haven't, go watch it. Come here, you're gonna see what I pick. I'm not even gonna waste time on it. I'm picking Miami. The experience of Carson Beck and that Miami offense will overtake CJ Carr's inexperience, even though he may have more talent on his side of the ball with Jeremiah Love. I do think Miami will take this W over Notre Dame. Now, this is the toughest question on this week's Pick'em because it is asking the total points scored in Ohio State versus Texas. These are 2 very strong defenses, so it's not going to be over 80. They're not allowing 40 points each. But I think the mistakes that the defense will make in the good offenses will allow each of them to at least score 3 touchdowns. And I think this game will be actually a very close game. 21-24, I have my final score going in favor of Texas. I am going to have 45 points in total being scored in the Texas versus Ohio State game. So yeah, that is my week 1 picks of the college football pick'em. Obviously, we will have our week 1 preview for the Miami Hurricanes and the Oregon Ducks. So make sure to stay tuned and watch those videos when they come out. But yeah, those are my week 1 picks in the college football pick'em by ESPN. So remember, down in the comments, you can tell me how much of an idiot I am for picking the Virginia Tech over South Carolina. I don't really care. We all love college football here, and that's at the end of the day what I'm here to do, spread the love. So remember to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. And yeah, that's about it for me. So, while I do bleed orange and green and yellow, I hope I see y'all later. Daytime out.